Hello boys and girls. In my last video to you about bullet journaling, I started my bullet journal with August, and this time I wanted to see if my skills could grow in the month of September. So I'm starting it off on the left-hand side of the page with a quote by Helen Hunt Jackson. She was an American poet who actually worked for Native American rights. So I really admire her words, and they spoke to me. And of course, it's a quote that says September. It says, "By all these lovely tokens, September days are here, with summer's best of weather and autumn's best of cheer." So at the top of the page, I left a gutter space of 4 spaces, just so that I could get the lettering correct for however many I wanted each line to be. Each line was to be 3 dot points, except for the word September, so it really popped out at the viewer. September was to be a little larger than that. And there was a gutter space at the bottom of another 4, and that helped me with writing the name of the author, Helen Hunt Jackson. Another piece of advice that I have for you, if you know the quote that you are going to be writing in your bullet journal, use your grid lines guide that you made in first video and distribute the lettering evenly. So not only did I have my gutter spaces of 4 and 4 at the top and the bottom, I knew that the words that I was going to separate would give me 8 lines. So, taking my 36 dot points, subtracting 4 from each for 8 total, for all those math people out there, you're going to get 24. 24 divided by 8 lines gave me the 3 dot points. Then, knowing that I had 29 dot points on the vertical axis for each of my letters, I wanted to find my midpoint, which I already did in my guide as 14.5, 14 and a half. And from there, I was able to circle the letter that falls in the middle of each line. So by all these, the second L or the space falls in the middle. Lovely tokens, the space. September, the second E. Days are here, the letter R. By the time of the pictures that I was drawing, I wanted to make it evident that I was talking about the end of summer and the beginning of autumn. So I drew some glasses as we're going back to school, a pencil, an apple, a binder clip, and a teacher's favorite thing, a cup of coffee. With the last week of August being the majority of the first week of September, I already had that planned out. So I figured it was time for a second quote page for the same month of September. And this one comes from Joyce Meyer, another famous author. She wrote, "A number 2 pencil and a dream can take you anywhere." I liked the idea of drawing the A as an A+ in school, because we all strive to do our best, I hope. That's the goal for every teacher, at least. Number 2 pencils are very distinct because we need them for standardized tests. So I have the green elements to tie it in with the A, which you'll see a little bit later, and the shading of the different sides of the pencil. With the ampersand, which is why the ant symbol is drawn there, it reminds me of a G flat, which I loved music growing up, and I also like the roundness of it, which mimics the idea of a dream, not having such structured edges. I colored the face any color that I wanted, but I left the dream plain because our dreams are up to us and only we have the power to make our dreams come true. When I drew the street signs can take you anywhere, I was inspired by Dr. Seuss.
From there to here, from here to there, funny things are everywhere.
Because Dr. Seuss has a lot of signs for his book, All the Places You'll Go. So I did some shading here on the front and the bottom and left-hand side of each sign, and left the U-turn sign blank as if it were a real U-turn. Again, another difference. For the month of August, I knew that I wasn't doing as much throughout the day, so I could fit 2 weekly spreads on one spread of a bullet journal page. For the weeks in September, now that we're going back to school, I figured I needed a wider spread. So here, you'll see in my final bullet journal spread, I sectioned it off so that for each of the 29 spaces at the vertical, I'd be able to put 2 boxes or sticky notes, and for each of the 36, I'd be able to do 2 boxes of the other. Now, you're thinking, why did I make 8 boxes for 7 days of the week? Well, another thing that I need in my life is a little positivity, as we all do. So, if I find a quote that I like for the week, something that makes me happy during the week, or maybe just some notes that I need to know for the following week, I can put that in the final blank or sticky note on the second page. Here you'll see I'm using alphabet blocks to trace out the letters for SEPT, the abbreviation for September, and I'm coloring them in accordingly. These colors are going to be important in my mood tracker, and you'll see that in the following spread. On the second page of this 1 week spread, I decided instead of writing the word week out, I'd just put a W and the number block for number 1, meaning the full first week of September. Again, I wanted my bullet journal to encompass the main idea of my emotions for the month. And going back to school, I thought of backpacks. What do you keep in your backpack? You keep notebooks, maybe binders, lined paper, some highlighters, maybe colored pens, colored pencils, regular pencils, markers, ruler, scissors, crayons, and a bottle of water or hand sanitizer. And I made sure to count out exactly how many. I need 30 for the month of September. 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except for short February. So, that being said, I drew out my backpack with all 30 items, including the little mesh detail that holds my water bottle or hand sanitizer. Then I moved on to the same theme element, the letter blocks for the words mood and track. I wasn't able to fit tracker in there. I could have tucked it around the edge of the backpack, but I figured that would be a little too stuffy. So mood track is fine by me. You may notice that I changed up the color of the letter D as I'm coloring the letters in. If we look at the chart that I used earlier, the letter O and D are both yellow, which means the word mood would have blue and 3 yellows in a row. I wanted to change that up, so I put orange in there to give a nod to it, but make it unique in my own. I like using the color green because it makes me think of new beginnings. This is a new school year. There are a lot of new experiences happening. And being the year 2020, this is the first year that my nephew is going to be in kindergarten. So I'm a thrilled auntie, and I wanted to show that with the color green. Then, what's most important about a mood tracker other than having the items to color is knowing how your colors affect your mood. So for this, a smiley face, meaning super happy, is yellow. A smiley face that's just okay will be blue. A purple face is I could be doing better. And a red face is I need help. And that's just something for me to think about as I look back at my completed mood tracker for the month. Here you can see I'm just filling in the numbers of the days that I need to fill out for each emotion I'm feeling for each day of the 30 days of September. With my background in special education, you need to know about goal setting and how to set attainable goals. This way, you don't bring yourself down and you try to raise yourself up and make it better each and every day. So, using the same theme of my month of September and my mood tracker, I'm drawing my rectangular boxes for my habit tracker and falling them in accordingly. It saves time if you know exactly what color you want to color your blocks, so you don't have to keep opening and closing the same marker at the same time. That's a little tip from me to you. Then, I only gave myself 4 goals this month. So you'll see I've got the goal to read, and I drew an open book. So that doesn't mean that you need to finish a chapter, a certain number of pages, just read something. In our daily lives, we tend to read a lot of emails, but we're going to try to read other things as well. Next is write. I write in my diary, I write poetry, short stories, article ideas, things of that nature. So there's a copy of a diary page with a pen. Next is the exercise. This says walk. If it's good weather, I can walk outside. If it's not so good weather, I can make sure I get my steps in at work or with my video game that has a physical element to it. And I drew a sneaker to go along with that. And the last element is hygiene. We all need to make sure that we brush and floss our teeth. So I just drew a little toothbrush here. I wrote the word brush, and I even gave myself a yellow tooth to remind myself to take care of those teeth. Here is a final flip through of my bullet tracker for the month of September, starting with my quote pages, my weekly spreads, my mood tracker, and my habit tracker. I hope you liked it, learned something, maybe give it a try. Look at my references, and don't forget, if you like it, subscribe to this channel. Thanks, and have a great day.